One's ready. One's ready. Go! So you guys are going into Special Warfare Assessment Selection. It is an attributes-based selection model. What does that mean?
Guys, are we running right now to get fitter? Or are we practicing running? Practicing.
I can't freaking...
So there's a holistic picture that we're looking for. The instructors are giving you input, and we're expecting an output. And everything is for a reason. If you guys haven't heard my spiel yet, everything that we do, every single exercise, has a connection to the job that you're trying to do. We don't want people at INDOC, Special Warfare Assessment Selection, whatever they're gonna call the new course when it inevitably changes somewhere down the road. I don't care what they call it. What I need is you to show me the raw materials for the things that I wanna build you into. Just like everything else, it's a crawl, walk, run.
I can run a Keesler just like this. All the way to ATC and never quit. All the way to ATC and never quit.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the ONESREADY podcast. This is your daily drop for the 14th of August, brought to you by two people. Now, you obviously know that we like our creatine. We like tastygains.com. No promo code for that, okay? But if you guys go over there, they've got creatine gummies, they've got hydration powders, they've got nootropic capsules, and they also have pre-workout. So there's a lot of studies going on about creatine and what it does for your brain, not just your muscles, to get those extra couple of reps, put on some size. I can tell you right now, I have been trying to lose some weight and cut, and I have been taking creatine for the last month and a half now, and I stepped on the scale and I have gained 5 pounds. So, and that's not fat. Now, I am by no means cut, and I'm kind of a little portly, little fat ass, but, and we all know that, right? I'm not saying anything nobody doesn't already know. I'm a short little fat ass. So, but I've still put on 5 pounds, and I'd say that's 5 pounds of muscles, all in my traps. No big deal. So be careful around me because you might get trapped. All right. Tastygains.com. Also, if you need equipment for our upcoming Operator Training Summit in Nashville on the 25th and 26th of October, head over to ONESREADY.com. Top right-hand side where it says prep and then partner discounts. The second one down, you'll see Attack Elite. Attack Elite provides you high volume masks, rocket fins. Make sure you buy booties for the rocket fins. Don't just buy the rocket fins because that's not going to work out too well for you. They have ropes, they have Alice rucks, they have smartwatches, they have wet bags or dry bags, whatever you want to call them, to put all your pool gear in and that kind of stuff. Listen, they've got the best stuff, and snorkels and all that kind of good stuff. The same stuff they're using is the same stuff that you're going to use in the pipeline. So if you want to prepare correctly and, use the same stuff that you're going to be using, because that should be what you want to do, go visit them, check them out. Now, what's going to happen is once you click on that Attack Elite link, it's going to take you to their page. If you don't have pop-up blockers enabled, it'll give you a pop-up and a generic code that is provided for you on the spot to get you that discount. All right, on to the joint news. U.S. military deploys forces to Southern Caribbean against drug cartels. The U.S. has ordered deployment of air and naval forces to the Southern Caribbean Sea, South Caribbean Sea, to counter threats from Latin American drug cartels. The move aims to disrupt illicit trafficking routes and enhance regional maritime security. Next, I wonder how the Coast Guard, the Coasties, feel about that. They're probably happy about that, I imagine, just because it's such a large area to cover. But I mean, those Coasties, they do like to get their action on. We don't want to take too much of their glory. Anyway, next, National Guard mobilizes 800 troops in Washington, D.C. for law enforcement support. Approximately 800 National Guard members have been deployed to Washington, D.C. under Title 32 orders to assist federal and local law enforcement in maintaining security and supporting monument protection, traffic control, and community safety. What I don't believe you'll see, which you shouldn't see, but what I don't believe you'll see is National Guardsmen actually detaining or making arrests or anything like that. They are there strictly to support and protect, the Capitol Police so that they can do their job, essentially enabling the Capitol Police to go out there and do all the law enforcement. I say that, and then next thing you know, I'm going to get proven wrong, or some video will be taken out of context or something like that. But that is the plan right now. All right, Air Force news. Cubic receives long-term training equipment contract. Cubic Corporation secured an indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity, IDIQ, contract for the U.S. Air Force and Foreign Military Sales Program through 2032. The agreement covers high-fidelity, live mission training capabilities for advanced weapons and tactics. I don't know anything about what they provide. Maybe I do. I just don't recognize the name. Actually, I do recognize the name. I don't know the details into what the IDIQ covers in terms of scope. But all right, next, Air Force awards $58 million meteorological systems contract. The Air Force awarded IntelliSense Systems a $58 million contract to procure advanced meteorological sensing and data systems, enhancing operational environmental awareness. That's good because, hurricanes in the Southeast or in the Caribbean and all that kind of good stuff are continuing on. So since we've lost some of our weather capabilities, bringing this online is going to be important. All right, next, Space Force news. NTS-3 navigation satellite launch successfully completed. The Department of the Air Force, in coordination with the U.S. Space Force, which is kind of weird that they would say that because the Space Force, even though it's a different service, still falls under the Department of the Air Force, just like the Marines fall under the Department of the Navy, but whatever. Anyway, they successfully launched Navigation Technology Satellite 3 aboard a ULA Vulcan rocket. The experimental satellite is a DoD's first reprogrammable positioning, navigation, and timing system in nearly 50 years. What's bonkers is that the GPS satellites that we're using up around the world right now are 50 freaking years old. That's insane. Actually, that would be 50 years old on the younger end, right? Not on the older end because it took us a while to get those up. But anyway, next, Ground Antenna Array progresses deep space radar capability. Space Systems Command and Northrop Grumman demonstrated a multi-antenna ground-based array enhancing capabilities for the U.S. Space Force's deep space radar tracking program. Next, part-time Space Force model clarified. The U.S. Space Force outlined its unique part-time Guardian model, emphasizing episodic tours rather than traditional 1 weekend per month guard or reserve structure. Okay, cool. I'm actually interested to see what they're going to do when they mean episodic tours. Does that mean that you basically come on orders for, let's say, 3 months, and then you go off orders? Or is it going to be 6 months and all that kind of fluctuates? So, good. That is the one good thing about, starting up another service is that you can take what you've learned, all the good things from, like, let's just use Space Force, for example. You can take the good things from the Air Force as a service and bring them over to the Space Force. You can also take the bad things or the things that the Air Force does not do well. You can bring them over, but in a different functionality with different processes and all that kind of stuff. So that is the good part about it. All right, next gen GPS receiver demo exercise tests handheld systems with warfighters. That is a long-ass title. Jeez. Space Systems Command conducted an exercise featuring its joint modernized handheld next-generation GPS receiver, not preceiver. U.S. allied and international warfighters participated in feedback sessions during both day and night operations to evaluate the hardware in realistic field conditions. Cool. The Air Force hasn't, or the military, at least ground pounder wise, hasn't had a new military GPS, handheld GPS in, golly, man, it's got to be like 20 years, maybe 15 years. 15 sounds light. Pretty sure I had the current one back in 2005, 2006 when it was brand new. So yeah, it's been 20 years. All right, next. These are of interest. Privacy risks deemed minimal for Instagram location tracker. You got to be kidding me. Despite privacy concerns, the DoD assessed that the new Instagram location sharing feature poses minimal risk to service members, even though it reveals user active geographic location. In what world could you say that that's a minimum risk or minimal risk? That's unreal to me. Listen, do not have your geographic location on Instagram turned on. That this will protect you. It'll protect your family members. There is no reason that anybody outside of your family need, or even friends, I guess, if you want to expand it that much, need to know where you're at. This is such a massive risk. And I think that some of our young people that happen to have this, and by young people, I mean kids and that kind of stuff, man, if they have this turned on, it could be really bad and dangerous. So don't turn it off. All right. Pentagon IT projects. Pentagon IT projects face costly cancellations. Two major Pentagon human resource IT projects, one for the Air Force and the other for the Navy, are slated for cancellation despite nearing completion, raising concerns over redundancy and financial waste. I don't know anything about that. Not surprising because it has to do with IT, but I mean, what I don't know is what did the IT projects do for the Air Force and the Navy? What was the cost? What's the sunken cost? All that kind of good stuff. So, I don't know. Next, potential $346 million weapons sale to Nigeria approved by the U.S. That's a pretty big boy number for a country like Nigeria. The Defense Security Cooperation Agency approved a potential $346 million foreign military sale to Nigeria, including munitions and rockets, aimed to bolster the country's capacity to counter Boko Haram and stabilize regional security. Okay, is it just me, or is that like a massive number to help combat Boko Haram in Nigeria? I don't see Boko Haram like being a major player. Like they're kind of a joke. And if you've been to Nigeria or any of the surrounding countries, you kind of know what I'm talking about. Like, are they terrible people? Absolutely. Should they be wiped off the face of the earth? Absolutely. But they're kind of like, you have varsity, then you have JV, and then you have B team. Like they're B team. So I don't know. All right. Last but not least, Hegseth's alleged Christian nationalism sparks internal military concern. Media reports accuse Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth of promoting ultra-conservative Christian ideology within the Department of Defense, prompting concern among veterans and service members who warn this politicization could undermine unity and military integrity. I can tell you right now, I'm no longer active duty, right? I'm retired, but I do still work on an Air Force base in an Air Force institution. And I can tell you what I haven't seen is any kind of religious stuff at all. Does the base have a chapel, which is I forget what the term is, but it's multi-religious, non-denominational facility, and there are numerous chaplains of multiple religions here on base. And in fact, I even saw an airman yesterday who was a security forces dude that was, and I'm gonna mess it up. I don't know. He wasn't wearing a security forces beret. He was wearing and it wasn't a turban. It was some other kind of headgear that had the security forces patch on it. Like, so, man, I think this is kind of a bullshit article, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I just haven't seen it. And I can tell you that I'm in it every day, and I see it I'm in these conversations every single day with the leaders, and I don't see anything posted. I don't have any emails to support that claim, and I haven't seen or heard any of the Air Force leaders talking about it. So I don't know, man. Don't know what to tell you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Appreciate you guys joining us. See you.